Hi, I'm Aditya, and this is my submission for the NXT Programming Challenge 2018. So we were supposed to make a pinball game using the API provided by Ubisoft. The API, so it had a game test.cpp, which we're supposed to update. So it had an initialize function, an update function, a render function, and a shutdown function. So I declared, so in the initialize function, I just initialized our first scene, which is the menu scene. And in the update function, I check in for key input and switch the scene. And also update the current scene using passing the delta time. And in the render function, I just rendered the game scene, which is currently active. And in shutdown function, I check if the quit key is pressed and I shut down the game, which is currently running. So this is what my game scene header looks like, and it's being inherited from scene header, which is a virtual class, and it has virtual functions of init, shutdown, update, and render, which every scene must have. So these are my private variables, and these are my public variables, and these are the functions, which is first function is to initialize the scene, second is to destroy the scene and clean up the memory, and third function is to update the scene and the physics and handle the key inputs, and the fourth function is to render our scene. And here's a quick look at my initialize and my shutdown, update, and the render function. So that's it, and here's my body class, which holds our body, which has a mass, has a velocity, has a position, has a shape. And coming to shape, we have a shape class in which we can create any shape just by putting in a position of the shape, radius, and the number of points a shape has. So if it's a triangle, the number of points will be 3, and if it's a square, the number of points are 4. If it's a pentagon, the number of points are 5, and so on. So now talking about physics, here is my collider class. It has 5 functions, and the first 2 functions are just for checking collisions, and the next 2 functions are for handling static collisions, and the last function is to handle moving collisions, like 2 bodies which are in motion, which is my 2 pedals and my pinball. So without further ado, let's run our game. So as you can see, this is our start screen. It has the player controls, and it also gives a brief about our game, that if we hit the mushroom, it's 100 points. If we hit the target, it's 200 points. But be careful. The targets have a coefficient of restitution of 2, so the bodies will bounce back faster than the hit. And we also have, as the classic pinball had a bump, we can bump the table up, down, left, and right. But there's a price for the bump, which is 100 points each bump. And so let's start the game. So in here we have the game. So on the right we have the UI, which has the title of the game, we have the score, we have the balls remaining, and the velocity of the ball. And as you can see, these are the mushrooms, and these are the targets. And instead of using the traditional flippers, I used what you call pedals. So these move left to right, but in bounds. So you can see that when they collide, they try to go beyond the bounds, they are pushed back. And so that's how it goes. So the main tip we got was the flipper and the pinball interaction would be a key point. So instead of using the traditional flippers, I tried to use these pedals, which were in Pong. So, and they have almost the same physics. So the ball collides at an angle, and and the pedal has a velocity. So hence it will get into a direction and a different velocity according to the velocity of the pedal and the ball and their the direction of their contact. So that's it. And if you want to know more about the game, I have provided a documentation. It gives an outline of our code. So hope you have a nice day. Thank you.